My name is Jason Calder. I have volunteered at Camp Comcedo, the camp down at the Ozarks, and I belong to a church, Journey Church in Kansas City. We've been volunteering for a long time with camp. Being part of a mission team at Camp Comcedo is a great way to get to know your teammates. First of all, you're all working together for a common goal. It really brings you together as a team. And it's also great to see God's gifting in people, in a team where maybe you aren't used to seeing them in that capacity. So you might see a children's pastor working and doing janitor work and being able to serve in that capacity. So it's just really cool to see God kind of working in people's lives in a different way. Also just really neat to get to know them better, and it just brings you together as a whole team. I don't think of serving at camp as a mission trip over like you do overseas. Not quite, because I think that the neat thing is they're local kids. They're kids that you get to see throughout the year. If you're in Kansas City, you can interact with them at Christmas parties or even fall retreat when you go back down to camp again. So it's a little different. It's a little different than a missions trip where you're going far away. And it's also a lot more accessible, I find. It's a lot easier. The expense for you personally to go down to camp is just getting to the bus, basically, and you can get down there. So it's a lot more accessible for you. But it is cool to be able to think these kids are having, are living in your city, and you can interact with them throughout the year if you'd like. Working with people from our church in this mission capacity down at camp was great. It's great to see God working in people's lives and bringing you all together in ways that you maybe haven't worked together before. You see sometimes people when they're worn down and maybe not at their best and their freshest and their Sunday best, and you get to see people rising to the occasion, right, and pulling each other up. So when you work together with people from your church, you really do get to know them better. You feel more of a team and on mission together. So it's really cool going with people that you know. Well, what you give to the kids by being at camp for a week, I would hope it's exponential, right? I mean, it's so much more than just the time that you put in there in that week, but you're also showing them that they matter. You're showing them that God loves them. You're showing them that they're valuable enough to take your time away from maybe your family or your job to do that. And they feel like they're seen, and I think that's a big thing for a lot of these kids. I think for all of us, we like to be noticed and seen for who we are, and that's really what we can bring to the kids. It's just show them that in any capacity that you work at camp, you can show the kids that they matter and that they're valued. Well, not only do the kids get something out of camp, but you, when you serve, or I, when I serve, I really got a lot out of camp as well. Just being able to be stretched a little bit out of your comfort zone. I think that's where God works. I mean, we all want to see God working in our lives, but if we don't step out, sometimes we don't get to see that. If we stay kind of in our comfortable little bubble, we never get to see God and His miracles and sometimes His faithfulness coming through. So, I personally in my life, when I'm worn down, when I feel like I'm kind of a little less than comfortable, God can really speak to me. He can really work through me, so that's what I got to see in my life. But then the kids, just kind of in how appreciative they are of you down there, or maybe if the kids are maybe having a little harder time being away from home, and you see them warm up as they go. I mean, it just feels so good to see them kind of blossoming down there at camp. I really would recommend other churches send mission teams down to Camp Comcedo. It is such a great opportunity. It's so accessible, so low cost. They already have the plan in place. It's plug and play. You provide the people and they provide the opportunity. It's just an amazing way for your team to get stronger together, for your church to really put feet to their faith. And it's a great way for everybody to go down there and serve. And then all through the year, they've got these stories that they can share with each other. And again, I think just shifting people in the church kind of out of the pews and into the world is something that we need more of. And so I really do recommend serving with City Union Mission and down at Camp Concito.